Today, I'm going to show you how to automate your cold emails using N8N. So you can see here, for example, we have a full workflow that I'm going to guide you through. And let's get straight into this. Let me show you exactly how it works. So if we execute the workflow here, what you see is getting the lead data from Google Sheet. Then it's going to get the cold email templates from Google. And it's just going to smash out a few cold emails like you can see right here directly from my Gmail. And it's actually easier than it looks to set this up. If you go over to my cold email, if we go over to my email inbox over here, let's find an example. So if we pull up, this is the email that we just sent literally right now, right? So it works straight away. It's got the name of the recipient, then the cold email template, then it can fire out these. And you can do it for free inside N8N. It's pretty amazing, actually. You can do the whole process. See, we have a trigger that sets up the workflow. So we're just testing the workflow. Then it's going to get the rows from this Google Sheet. Now, essentially, the Google Sheet that we're using over here, here's an example. This is the Google Sheet that we're using. And you see we've got our names and our emails over here. These are my personal emails, obviously. But that just gives you an example. And then over here, we have the templates for the actual cold emails that we're going to send. So essentially, what we're doing over here is we are taking Google Sheets account. This is a sheet, getting the row, and then you're going to take it from the list, which is the lead sheet, right? So this is a list. So essentially what this does is it takes the information from the Google Sheet, takes the leads details, and then we're good to go from there. You can see it's pulled in like the email addresses over here, right? Based on the send set status and everything else. And now what you're going to see over here is that it's going to take the information from the spreadsheet. So for example, it's got the row number, the name, the email, the sent status, and the time. And what it's doing is it's set up some routing rules, right? So if, for example, the send status on the spreadsheet is sent, it's not going to send an email to that address, right? It's going to put no email sent. If it is equal to sent, you can see here on the spreadsheet, we've got sent marked on the spreadsheet here. And that just basically sends it out to this person, right? So if I add a little dot here, we can test it out on the next example. So essentially, we've got a Google Sheet over here. Then we're running that for a switch, and then we're going to loop over the items, right? So you can see here that we're just looping these over because we've got multiple items to send email addresses to. It's going to loop around multiple times. So depending on how many items you have in the spreadsheet, you can just set a batch size here. So you could say, right, okay, I want to send 1,000 cold emails at a time. I want to send 200 cold emails. I wouldn't recommend that because you probably get blocked. But if you wanted to, you could theoretically, right? So we've got the Google Sheet with the leads details. That's going to switch over here. We're going to loop that over here. And then what you can see is this is going to get the rows from the spreadsheet. So it's going to get the email address and everything else, which is in sheet 2. Okay, so if we have a look over sheet 2 here, we've got our subject lines on the left-hand side in column A.